Anybody down around Atlanta? I am running a SDR, the Atlanta SDR. Anybody down that way?
Whiskey 4 Zulu.
Whiskey 4 Zulu. Let me see if I can write that down. Whiskey 4 Zulu. And what's the name there, sir?
Okay, the name here is Floyd. I spell Foxtrot Lima Oscar Yankee Delta. And the QTH here is Monroe, Georgia. We're not exactly in Atlanta. And the QTH here is been around Atlanta my whole life. And is about, well, it's about 20 miles from Athens and about 35, 40 miles from Atlanta. Over.
Yes, sir, Floyd. I'm copying you on locally on my 10-foot magnetic loop oriented north and south. Roger.
Okay. Well, we're running at the moment we're running a dipole. I think it's probably aiming east-west. So I'm not sure we're pointed in your direction, but that's what it's an old dipole that I made about 30 years ago, and it still works. I think I burned the balun up in it, and I took the balun out, so it's running without the balun right now. But anyway, rarely do I use it on 40, but it just seemed like it was picking up better than the vertical today. So that's what's going on. The rig here is ICOM 7610, and we're running it into an amp right now. Running about 1,000 watts. So wherever you are, hopefully we're making a good trip. KC9VKV, this is WW4Z.
Roger, Floyd. Now, I've been looking for you. I've been looking for a 7610. First off, you look like you could use just a little processing to fatten your signal up. We are suggesting that you engage your compressor at about a 3. A token amount, but it begins the fattening process. So if you would be interested, set your compressor on a 3. Roger, Roger.
Okay, I just hit the switch and it's set for 3, and that's actually and it's also set for wide at the moment. So it's I think it's got a couple of different settings, and one of them for DX and such would be for narrow, but I don't particularly like that sound for just reg chewing and such there, over.
Oh, you're right, Floyd. That bandpass, when they suggest going to, that lower resolution, and what they do, they shoot their foot off for nothing, because that just takes the top end right off of your audio. When you go to those restricted bandpass frequencies, it just takes the top end right off your audio. And the top end is what gives you the intelligibility to be able to be heard and understood in high noise situations. When you lose the top end in noisy situations, you become Mr. Just mumbles, Roger.
Yes, sir. I'm actually running this, I've got, it's actually a condenser microphone, and it's fit into a little box that I built years ago that's got a three-section bandpass filter in it, and it's currently enabled. I'm going to turn it off and let you hear. I think it'll probably make a sizable difference into just what you're talking about in terms of the highs and such. So it's now in the off position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My name is Floyd. My call sign is Whiskey 4 Zulu, located in Monroe, Georgia. And there's the little box turned back on. And I think it tends to give a little bit of crispness to it, and hopefully adds a little intelligibility in terms of not what I'm saying, but how you can hear it there, over.
Roger, Floyd, yes. Sounds much better with the box engaged. You're pretty bassy with that turned off or out of the circuit. So you would definitely want to keep that engaged, Roger. And the next thing would be to go to your ALC and adjust with your mic gain, your ALC, to run mid-scale to 2/3, Roger.
Okay, let's see here. I'm not sure I know enough about the menu to get into there right now. Jim, let's see here. Hang on just a second. Let me just take a peek.
I believe I've lost my mind.
Uh-oh.
Well, somebody help that guy find his mind.
I can't find my mind.
Where have you been? That's my Elmer. Hello, Elmer.
Well, go ahead,
Jimmy.
I'm going to sign out there. Appreciate the conversation there, Jim. It's WW4Z.
Roger, take notes. When you find your EQ, you might try to increase your top-end EQ a couple of clicks more top-end than where you are. About 2 dB increase on top-end EQ from where you are. Roger?
Okay, I will do. Thanks.
All right, and there's one other thing that I'm sure you can find this. Your radio has a thing called drive, and you find that through your button in the front called quick.
Give him time, Jimmy. He'll find it.
No, I know where
I
it
need
is.
a psychiatrist.
Drive gain, I see it.
All right. So what's it sitting on now?
50%.
Take it up to 65%.
Okay, 65%.
All right, and tell me about your antenna system.
Okay, right now it's a fan dipole. It's got elements for 80 meters and 40 meters, and it is oriented east-west, and it's stuck. It's not very high. Stuck up in a bunch of pine trees, and you can't see it from here. And it may be on the ground for all I know.
Roger, Roger. Well, that just increased your audio probably about 10% over where it was, and I think you were close to 3 dB dynamic range. So I think you're probably up around 85 to 90% average peak modulation with the drive set in that mode. And what that is just an item the 7610 has that you can dial a dynamic range whatever you want. Roger.
Okay, well, I'll keep that in mind. Hello, hello. Looks good on the scope, actually. Yeah, you can definitely tell when a compressor's on. It peak power. Hello. Oh goodness.
Good.
Yeah, it sounds great, and that is more the peak than the compressor. The peak adjustment is doing that when we kicked it up from 50 to 65. Roger?
Okay, all right. Well, I'm going to say 7.3s. You guys pick up there. That's WW4Z.